Hello, USA! Bobby Cardenas coming at you from Lancaster, California on the eve of the World Cup of 2018 in Russia. I didn't do my long intro usually of my heavy metal scream because my my grandson, is asleep, taking a nap. I'm watching it on the monitor right now. Anyway, so I gotta take these Fakakta things off because I can't see. Ooh! Obviously you'll notice that this is a slightly different look than usual, right? Usually I'm behind there, back there. Well, I decided, since this is a new World Cup, all of you, well, most of you will know that I started shooting these Fakakta videos back in 2014 during the Brazil World Cup. I've decided, and things have changed from that point, from the first few videos that I shot that were a little bit more serious and the camera angles are different. So I'm going to try different things this time. I'm behind a counter, a rolling counter. I'm going to try different angles. I'm going to try maybe different backdrops. I may even bring in a desk to have two people when I have a friend to talk about the soccer world, soccer news. But I can also do it here. I can be here. I can be here. So I'm going to do some different things this year in this World Cup. So the first big news is what? What is it? It is the USA, along with Canada and Mexico, won the right to host the World Cup in 2026. Oof. Today, they all met in Russia, all the different heads of the federations and the FIFA members, to vote on either the USA, Canada, Mexico bid or Morocco. And fortunately, we won. So in 2026, I'll be, 67? Somewhere around there. Hopefully I'll still be able to get about. I think I will. And get to a few games because I'll undoubtedly have some here in LA. As soon as those freaking tickets go on sale, I got to get them. Sorry, my hair's a little... I just got out of the shower a while ago, and plus in the man cave, it's so freaking hot and humid. Anyway, okay, so that's the first big news. Second is that, obviously, since the USA is not part of the World Cup this year... Wait a second, let me pull this back. Since the USA is not part of the World Cup this year, who am I rooting for? España! Motherland! That's who I have to go for, of course. And they play their first match versus Portugal on Friday. Now, the big news about that is that today, this morning, their head coach, their manager, Julian Lopetegui, was sacked. Was friggin' given he was, don't let the door hit you on your ass on the way out. And why? For several reasons. Politics, egos, ethics, maybe in the way things were handled. This is why this has occurred. Because after he signed an extension May 22nd till 2020, through the negotiations with the head of the Spanish FA, the Football Association, Luis Rubiales, who was just appointed this past April, Rubiales felt that he got stabbed in the back by Lopetegui last night. Because last night Lopetegui calls him up. Rubiales is in Moscow, it was in Moscow or Russia where they're about to vote today, right? He calls him up last night and says, hey, by the way, hey, it's been nice, but I'll be seeing you because Real Madrid is about to announce that I'm their new manager. Say what? Why would you disrupt the World Cup campaign? So I fault him. I fault Real Madrid, obviously, big time. Those two guys those two entities are the biggest, have the biggest blame to bear for this because you just don't do something like that. You keep it in, and then you announce afterwards. But first, you let the Spanish Football Association know that this is going to happen because now they have to look for a new head coach leading into the Euros of 2020. So there's a blame all over. So Rubiales got pissed off after talking to him for about half an hour, from what I've read. They hung up. Rubiales tried to call Lopetegui back. Lopetegui didn't answer, so he said this morning, he goes, you know what? I'm flying over there to wherever they're staying in Russia, face to face, and he said, you are fired. You're out of here. You're canned. Vámonos. Goodbye. Wow. So who's coming in? Fernando Hierro, one of Spain's all-time great defenders, one of my favorites from way back in the day when he played with Raúl. few other standout Spaniards, or and also including Fiego, Portuguese. Anyway, he's going to step in. Now he's actually, ironically, he was in charge of the one of the heads of the FA back in 2008 through 2012 when Spain went on its famous run of the World Cup, winning the World Cup in 2010, and bookending it with the Euros. So he's coming in. So hopefully he just lets things go as they've gone for the last several years as far as preparing for the World Cup. He knows all the lineups, I'm sure. And I think the Spanish players are professional enough to know that a lot of them, like Ramos, Piqué, some of the other older ones, this is going to be their last chance to get another World Cup. And some of the young players, this is a chance for them to get a World Cup because they're one of the favorites. Brazil, Spain, Germany, and France are the top four, but most people say Spain and Brazil are actually the two favorites. And the way the brackets are set up, they could meet in the final. What a fantastic final that would be Sunday, July 15th. So let's end this with some other big news that VAR, Video Assist Referee, will be used for the first time in a World Cup. I'll go more into that tomorrow. Hopefully I'll come back and post something tomorrow, either before or right after the Russian match. And if I'm not working, I'll be posting things throughout the rest of the World Cup. Hopefully I'm working because I need some money. And that's it. So I'm also going to be doing some different types of send-offs. You've noticed, you're familiar with my send-off from the past. Well, here we go. I still will say no to racism. But Woof Woof says no to racism. I always say no to Woof Woof. For those of you. And go USA! Always go USA! In the new... From medieval time. I'm going to have different mugs, different, maybe pint, different... Who knows? I'm going to do something different every time. So that's it. We'll see you mañana.